Well,
Hi.
where are you?
Where I'm in a rehearsal room right now. I don't know if you
Yeah,
know.
I
Yeah,
can
in
see.
in the Netherlands, in Rotterdam.
I was actually, you see, because my geography is so torrid, I actually asked my 11-year-old son, I said to him, is Rotterdam in Holland or is it in Germany?
Fair enough. I feel like it sounds like it could also be
It should
in
be
Germany.
German. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it does.
But you have found yourself happily ensconced there for the last 5 years, I believe.
Well, going on five. It's like
Yeah.
four. Yeah.
But the bigger question is you're about to, we'll get to the music, but you've been there for 5 years going on.
Yes.
You finish your degree now in July.
Yes. Today?
Then what? Do you stay in Rotterdam? Do you relocate? I mean, because yes, your first EP, Confusion, right?
Hmm.
So you can't use, well, maybe you can refer to that EP for direction to the confusion, which is now, obviously you're now having to make some fundamental decisions on what next, right? Because you've
Yes.
had your studies to kind of shelter you or keep you safe, but now the gloves come off, right?
Ye- Definitely. Definitely very aware of that. Feeling all the feelings.
Sorry, no pressure, no pressure.
No, it's extremely valid and very realistic thing for me right now.
Mm.
I just studied. I have my graduation ceremony today.
Look
Today.
at you, such a pro. You do your interviews and then you head off and get your gig.
That's
That's
why I can only do until 4:15 because I have to be at the graduation ceremony.
well, I think that weirdly is more important than any of this. So congratulations. I
No,
think it's
thank
amazing.
you.
Um,
I find this just as important. But it is special, of course. It's very, very cool.
yeah,
But
it must be
to
quite weird that it's coming to an end.
Very weird. I've been doing a lot of reflecting and just walking around. I'm noticing everything is making me emotional. So I think a lot is
Mhm.
happening right now.
Sure. No, and and
Um,
and what a better time to
yeah.
weirdly, I think when you wrote this, the tracks for the new EP, you were writing these love letters, as you say. Um, was there one in there for you?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I think kind of in a weird way, scattered throughout the songs, there's always a little bit of something for me. Um,
Mm.
because when I write songs, I tend to want to comfort people.
Hmm.
And I think when I write, I'm comforting myself often and kind of combining that. But the song Yours Truly, Julie
Mm.
is about someone writing a letter and saying, I'm leaving town, I'm chasing a dream, I'm figuring it out. And I think, well, I wrote that. It was one of the first songs I wrote when I came to Rotterdam, moving countries and, chasing a dream. So I think it's definitely, in a sense, about me, actually.
And it's kind of gone full circle because, as you say, going on 5 years, you wrote that song then,
Yeah.
and now when you listen back to it, it's almost like you what's the word? Were clairvoyant, I suppose, in some way, lyrically clairvoyant as to where you find yourself now.
Yeah, I guess in a sense, and even something like Blue and Green, that song as well. Um,
Hmm.
I wrote it during COVID. I started writing that, and it
A
was
great
kind of
time.
yeah, locked up in my room, and then
Yeah.
this that being locked up in my room inspired the song being about me floating up into space and
Yeah.
watching the world from above and what that
Hmm.
would be like. And in a sense, I still am feeling that as well now, trying to find my place in all of it as well.
Well, having said that, excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. I'll edit these bits out. Um, the fact that, as I say, you've had this chapter, you've had a series of chapters, you've got two EP chapters, you have a life chapter, for being your time in Rotterdam. Um, do you have an idea as you sit there? I mean, as much as you've done a lot of reflection as to what is the rest of 2025 and 2026 look like? Because you've now got this body of work that, um, and obviously, I'm sure there's even more that we haven't heard. Um, is this something where, having studied effectively musicology or music as a degree, um, it took, you almost know too much because there's I think I studied musicology literally 100 years ago, and it can be, sorry, this is a very weird way of getting to my point, but that's having had all this reflection, have you considered to this point, say, what the rest of this year into next year looks like for you? Is it work, as in finding a place professionally based on the thing you've studied, or is it to take your studies and make that your career, as in full time?
So definitely, definitely haven't figured it out yet. That's my initial answer to that.
5 years. What the hell have you been
What
doing?
do you mean? When you mentioned that the and obviously it's not really true, like knowing too much, but I definitely
Hmm.
do have that feeling. For instance, now when I'm finished studying, I want to take a break. And not
Yeah,
not super long, because luckily I'm still in a position where after the study I don't feel like I want to not do music.
sure.
Thankfully I still feel inspired, and it hasn't like broken my spirit
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
want to
which
do it.
which could have happened. It so
Totally.
could have happened. Yeah.
Totally, especially because I had my main subject was songwriting, and
Hmm.
we have a combination of it's a bachelor, so we have different sides
Hmm.
to it. We have music theory, we have
Hmm.
entrepreneurship, we have main subject songwriting. So it's very focused on music and songwriting and who are you, what's your brand, what's your this, like all of those kinds of questions. And it gets tiring for me, at least after a while, and you kind of lose the heart and soul of why you
Yeah,
started doing it in the first place.
yeah.
So in terms of knowing too much, um, sometimes that is a bit scary now. Like knowing how it actually realistically looks to try and build a career in
Hmm.
music and make it work and stay, honestly, keep to stay inspired and to keep loving what you're doing, um,
Hmm.
and not let that be ruined or tainted by it all. So for
Hmm.
now, after this, I'm going to take one great long holiday in South Africa. I'm going to be back in Johannesburg.
Cool. Nice.
Very homesick at the moment, so
Okay.
I'm very excited.
Yes.
And after that, this next period, so to answer also another question, I'm going on holiday in Johannesburg for like a month and a bit. Then I'll be
Hmm.
moving back to the Netherlands, to Rotterdam, and I'm staying here until next year, May, give or take. And then
Okay.
I'm permanently moving back to Johannesburg for
Okay.
the
Very
foreseeable
cool.
future. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, I can speak for
Good.
hours on like why and all of that, but for now that's the plan. And that period where I come back to Rotterdam is working on new music. That's
Yeah.
that's the plan. I have a lot of
Well,
ideas, and Blue and Green being complete now
hmm.
has it's really shaped a lot of what I don't want to do in the next project and what I do want to do, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the beauty if you're paying attention, that each body of work that you produce, it defines, as you say, you hold on to the things that work, and then you park the things that don't. So,
Yeah.
you're continually, I wouldn't call it refining because that's not what you're doing, but you are continually, um, I think it's a bit like um, going on a date, right? So first date, you meet the person. Second date, you get to know them a bit better. I get a sense musically that you, certainly with this EP, that you've gotten to know yourself as a musician, um, better than you did on the first, which talks to growth, I suppose. But yeah, it did. I think when you not that one should compare the two, but that the new album, or new, I keep on calling it an album, is um probably more authentically you. Would you say that?
I actually I actually don't know if I would say that in a weird way. I think I don't know. It's how I kind of see Beautiful
Okay.
Confusion was my ideas. I think it's cool. I ran with it. And on this next one, I collaborated a lot more in the process of making the songs. And although I do believe both are pretty authentic, and in a sense, I do think there are layers to it. And lyrically, I think it might be a bit more, I don't know, developed, like fully developed and still authentic to me. But um, I do think outside influences uh, in a positive way and in a maybe at times not as positive way,
Mm.
I don't know, shaped it as well. So
Yeah, because like we were saying, because of what you studied, how you studied it, you know all the steps, right? So
yeah,
you are songwriting fit. You are in so many aspects fit. So you could certainly, even with the CP, as you were taking on the subjects and doing the various modules, you could have actively applied that to your songwriting process, to what you're doing, which then arguably could, people, someone might say, but then your music starts to potentially become contrived because you're almost painting by numbers, right?
yeah,
So, or formulaic, for lack of a better term. Whereas, like you say, the first EP was kind of, I like it, I'm doing it this way. I'm not trying to appeal to any one or any particular audience.
yeah,
This is just me where I am right now, and I'm putting it down on a page. This EP, taking the first EP plus lived experience, you go, okay, now you can evolve your sound. Obviously, you're finding your voice, for lack of a better term.
yeah.
Um, it could have been a little more contrived, um, because you almost had a recipe to work with, right?
Yes, yes, and I would listen to other people's comments, you know, also
Mm,
saying,
mm.
I think it should sound like this, or I think you should go more in this direction, or and I'm pretty. It's funny. I have a pretty strong idea of what I want, but I'm also very open to trying things. So I do sometimes, you know, also get lost in the, oh, it could be this or it could be that.
Which is great, and it should
Yeah,
always be the case, I think.
yeah.
But if you had to define it, what is the it that you are either seeking or that you've found in part? What's the, have you got like a mental picture of what it looks and sounds like?
The moving forward, you mean?
Mm, mm,
Yes, yes, I
okay.
do. I really, really do. I have specific kind of like markers or like
Mm,
ideas in my mind that I and I'm hoping I can achieve it. But
mm,
it's crazy. I really at the beginning of making this EP had an idea of what I
mm,
thought I was doing, and or I had an idea of what I was doing, and then
mm.
I did it, and I really it's like it just something just kind of clicked, and I feel like I understand where I want to go now.
And that must have been a bit more of a challenge for you because the first EP you wrote alone, right? Now all of a sudden you're in Rotterdam, you've got your peers around you, you've got contributors, people with voices who are now, kind of messing with your soup in a way.
Yeah.
Now, how was what? I mean, as much as it's always it's lovely to work in a team. Did you find that process easy or hard?
It had its moments, definitely.
Are you
I
still speaking to those people?
Yes, luckily, no major fights, no nothing. We were
The
still
blood was
very much
spilled.
okay. Um, Still some of them are my like even best friends, so we're all good, luckily. Um, I would say little bits of both. I found it very, like, truly inspiring to have people working on my music with me. I'd never
Mm.
had that before. People who are actively doing it because they believe in what I'm doing and they think it's cool and they want to make something work. You know,
Yeah.
that was really, really lovely. And I was very grateful because, it, maybe people wouldn't want to play my music. That's also a thing. So that was the first thing in terms of it being really great. I think sometimes it's more difficult because when I'm unsure of what I want and I'm working with people, then they also kind of it just becomes a bit messy
Yeah, well,
in a
they're
sense.
pandering to you. So it's
Yeah,
a case of they need direction.
yeah,
If you're not sure, then they just, yeah, it's going
yeah. It's going to do that, and
to.
I think one of the trickier things was having taken so long to make the songs
Mm,
also wasn't it is what it is, but I would hope for the future not to take so long. I think
mm,
things like it was lying around too long and it turned out to be something slightly different than what I
yeah,
initially planned it to be.
yeah.
Um, so that would be
Set a deadline. Next time,
yeah,
set a deadline. And weirdly, as I'm sure you know, the best stuff happens typically when you've got an hour left in the studio or you've only got a set
yeah,
amount of time because it kind of triggers things. But
yeah,
I want to just ask you about obviously, you went to Rotterdam, clearly a very good school for what you have studied, and you did
yeah.
your homework and obviously got accepted there. Rotterdam is not Berlin, the German equivalent, right? And I was wondering what kind of an impact the city had um, on this journey to here. Was it, I mean, obviously you traveled outside of Rotterdam and went
Yes,
to places,
yes,
but the city obviously has left a mark on you and it's been your home.
yes,
Um, so did it have
yes,
a positive impact on the experience?
definitely. I when I think about Rotterdam, like the first thing that kind of pops into my mind when I connect it to how it influenced the EP, I think
Mm,
about cloudy and
mm,
gloomy,
mm.
like harsh kind of industrial city
Yes, very much. It's not.
versus
Hmm,
sunny South Africa. Um, so
sure.
so what I was used to. And that's
Yes.
especially during the winter months, which are long. I'm not used to having actual winter that
Hmm.
continues for, quite a while and just having gloomier weather in general.
Yeah,
Um,
it does affect your mood. Yeah.
totally. So that definitely influenced, I think, like my emotional state.
Hmm.
Um, so that on the one hand, the harshness of the city is something I really kind of
Hmm.
think influenced it. And then on the other hand, um, the summers here are wonderful. I'm
Hmm.
cycling around. It's beautiful outside. It's safe
Hmm.
for the most part, of course. Like it's generally very
Yeah,
safe.
yeah, yeah. It's not Joburg.
It's not Joburg. I'm walking around at like 11 p.m.
You're
So
coming home to potholes. Yeah.
I'm coming home it's funny. I'm not saying I miss the potholes, but there's a lot that I miss. There's
No,
so much that I
I know.
miss.
No, no. Trust me. I haven't done what you've done, but I've traveled around the world, and it's this weird thing. It's almost like you don't want it to affect you in the way that it does, but you can't explain it to anyone. It's innate. It's in you, and it does. It's a magnet, and it pulls you back.
There's obviously many South Africans that I've met on this side.
Hmm.
And it's pretty clear there's like a split between people who are like, I'm never going back. I'm so
Yeah.
done with that country. And that's fine. People must do what works for them. They have their reasons. But then there's also the other ones that are you just know when you say, I miss it. Like you
Yeah,
just
they get it. But I mean, the beauty of this chapter of your life that, in some ways, yes, will wrap effectively in a year from now. But the fact that you've got this extra bit of runway to May next year, but the fact that you can wrap this up, I think at in your own way at your own pace will make it so much easier for you to bounce back into Europe, as and when,
Yeah.
because that, that runway will always be there. And the experience that you've had sets you up, I think, beautifully for an international audience. Um, whereas, I mean, I know so many South African artists who are based in Joburg or Cape Town, and will record in Nashville and they'll then tour Europe. But home is home. I think, yeah, that gets smaller and smaller, but for all of the reasons. But I think the fact that you've made this huge investment in yourself with your studies, but also in your music, it really doesn't matter where you pitch your tent, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping and that's what I feel. I came here for the studies firstly, but
Mm.
also thinking obviously if I can make it work and it feels right to possibly be based here. That's something everyone so many people have said to me when they listen to my music, they say you should go overseas. Like it would work overseas. Um
There
and
is overseas when you're sitting in Rotterdam.
yeah, exactly. And now I tried it, but I just couldn't see myself living here. And I really call me naive, call me whatever, but I really want to try and set myself up as an artist within South Africa, someone
Yeah,
who's
which is
based.
admirable, and again, a lot of artists do it and have very successful careers,
Yeah,
because that's where they do their work, and then they almost go and play all over the place. Like I said,
yeah,
um, I think if South Africa is your fuel, if that's where you retain your identity as a creative,
mm,
um, you should respect that because that's what feeds you, right?
yeah, exactly.
Um, and then the rest of the time, the beauty of leaving, say, Joburg, is knowing that you get to come back, right? So, I mean, I think, and the music will benefit from that too. But I realized the time, and I just wanted to wrap up. When you're coming back for a holiday, you're not going to do anything with music at all.
I'm gonna try because it's tempting, but I know I need to just not for a second.
But I will set you a dare, is that if you intend being back in May next year, May or June next year, which is so the wrong time of year to be coming back because you're coming straight into winter. But the point
Yeah, I know.
is that we would like to see you perform. Um,
Yes.
you know, and maybe you'll bring a third EP with you when you do.
EP? I'm not so sure about an
Album?
EP.
Album. Yes, an
Hey,
album.
I oh album. Okay, that I'm really not. I'll say no.
Okay, bring
Um,
us bring us a song.
but definitely more music.
Okay.
Whether it's an EP would be great, but definitely there'll be new music by
Yeah.
then. And I can't wait to perform. That's
Mm.
also going to look very different, and that's going to be new finding people on that side that I
Yeah.
make music with.
Yeah.
But I'm very excited for that.
As you should be. And as a parting shot, you may not know this, but the label that you are signed to is a personal institution of mine, which the your label owner, who is Damon Forbes, started a company called Tick Tick Bang
Yes.
way back in the early 90s. And it
Yes.
wasn't a record label when it started. It was like a distribution company for bringing in international music to South Africa. So
Yes.
like the Excels and the 4ADs and all of those. Um, so being on that label, there are so many great names that you share that label with. And it's fitting for the kind of music that you make. So I think Damon placed you very carefully. I think if he did, or it just worked out that way. But it's a
Yeah.
there's good energy in Tick Tick Bang, that's for sure.
Yes, that's it's also my it's this was also the first time working with other people in terms of releasing my music and distributing it and having a bit more of a team. So for me it was also pretty foreign and it still feels kind of early days,
Mm.
but that's what I was hoping and feeling, and it's cool to hear you say that as well.
You're in good company. I've known Damon for more years than I will admit to on this call. No, he is. and Mel will do the same, but that's Mel's job. But I don't have to say that. But I've known him for 30 years, and yeah, you're in good company. And I wish you well, and I hope that
Thank
you will
you.
come and visit us in freezing Cape Town. As you can see, it's not summer here.
No.
Um, but no, good luck with it all, and congratulations for this afternoon.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You must put some pics on your socials, then we can see
I
you with.
will.
Ah, yeah.
Definitely will. Can I
But
follow you on where I must follow
you
you?
may, but I'm weirdly, because of what I do when I'm not doing this. I'm not. I am on Instagram, but yeah, weirdly, it's mainly Facebook and LinkedIn, which is quite boring because
Okay.
when I'm not doing music, I'm busy promoting other people who are not musicians.
Okay.
Now, music has always been my side hustle, and it's been my side hustle since 1991. So this is my passion project. So
Okay. Well,
um, yeah, but yeah, so you probably wouldn't follow me there because it's boring as like watching paint dry.
I
But
just have never had LinkedIn. I can get it, but I've never used
you're
LinkedIn.
a grown up now, Phil. Come on,
I know. I
this is the
should.
you should
I
you
should.
should. Yeah, I could help you with that. That's the kind of stuff I do. But no,
Thank you.
but no, in all seriousness, congratulations on it. I
Thank
think,
you.
like I said, you're in good company, and enjoy your break.
Thank you. I
And
appreciate it.
we hope to speak to you again when you are back in country and there's a tour that you are about to announce.
Yes. I look
Yeah.
forward to that too.
Great.